Hey guys, we are back with episode 4 of Elevation. Okay, we're taking things to the next level. I am Lene Monet, your social media personality, and I am here with my girl.
Hey, I'm Christine Gregory, licensed therapist, founder of Metalworks Behavioral Health, and happy to be reunited. It's been
I
about a month, I think,
No,
since
seriously,
we've
it's
done
been a
this.
while, guys, but it's
Yes,
okay. You didn't miss a thing.
yes, yes.
Today, we want to kind of jump into some things that we should actually be talking about more. So, this episode is getting prepared for the holidays. When you say,
Absolutely. What's the date today? November 20th. Or,
mm,
yeah,
hmm
so totally a great time for us to discuss those holiday jitters, anxieties, worries, excitement, whatever those feelings are around the holidays. So, perfect timing to do that.
absolutely. So, we just want to jump right in. So, first things first, we're going to be talking about seasonal depression. And I'll let Christine jump in a little bit more, but this usually happens like every year around the same time. The effects of it can usually be when it starts to get dark outside, the like climate changes, the time goes up or back. What is it? Back or
Absolutely.
forward? Back,
Fall back.
forth, and forth.
We
Okay.
fall back.
I don't
Yes.
know. Okay. It's doing something. The time is switching up on you. Okay.
Yes.
And this can totally have an effect on your entire mood. It can really
1000%.
switch things up, right?
Absolutely. So, as Lene said, a lot of times when we fall back, it shortens our day. So it gets dark way earlier. I've seen some things online where people are saying 6 p.m. feels like
10
10 p.m.,
p.m.
right? You're already tired, you're tapped out, and all of that can impact your mood, coupled with the anticipation of course, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. People pressure
Yeah.
themselves a lot with resolutions. Of course, with Christmas, buying gifts for the
Girl,
kids,
going
the
broke is what
spouses.
it's called.
Right, overextending yourself, and then the holiday, having all those people in your house or going into an environment in which you may not be completely comfortable with.
Hmm
So it's a combination of things that can cause the seasonal depression.
Absolutely.
And so today we're going to talk about just some things you can do to cope with it. We're going to just talk about how people have managed the holidays and give you some tips and tools to see how you can maybe manage it better
Hmm
if you are struggling in that area.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
How do you know if you're dealing with seasonal depression? Let's say that somebody doesn't even know the terminology, never heard
Yeah.
of it, but around this time, something happens. They don't know how to identify it. Is there any signs, any clues?
Yeah, totally. You literally like slow down. Maybe you
Mm.
want to sleep a little bit longer. You're going to bed a little bit earlier. You feel sluggish and
Mm.
tired, maybe more irritable. Um, Maybe your whatever your triggers are around anxiety, you could feel them a little bit more presently during this time. But a lot of it, again, it does have to do with just this, literally the season,
Yeah.
right? It being fall going into winter. So you can kind of monitor those things about yourself. Is it harder for you to get out of bed? You want to stay in bed longer? Do you feel slow, sluggish, less energetic? Those are all symptoms of seasonal depression.
Good stuff. That's good stuff. I feel
Hmm.
like maybe I've experienced that one year. It didn't happen like every year, but I feel
Yeah.
like I've experienced that one year. And that's why I brought it up because I don't think I knew how to identify something
What it
like
was.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it never happened before. And I couldn't understand what it was. And I was just being triggered. And I
Right.
think mine's got triggered when the time changed. When daylight saving
Mm.
times happened for me, not this year, but this was like a couple years ago,
Mhm.
it really had like a negative effect on me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. The literally the sun not being out, like our bodies need vitamin D.
Yes.
So the sun not being out does impact people's mood and their vibe and their
Yes.
kind of get up and go,
hmm
right? Doesn't it feel different in the
It
summertime?
really does.
You
It's
want
like
to be
you ready,
outside,
right? I'm
right?
ready to get up and go.
Yeah, so it's totally different. So absolutely. And it doesn't, good point that it doesn't have to be every year. It
hmm
might hit you this year and not the next year,
That's so true.
right? But still, it's a thing. And so you want to know how to manage that
hmm
when it does come up. Another thing we want to discuss, and we will give some coping skills a little bit later on, is how do you manage family members around this time of year? So, Thanksgiving is a time where typically we all come together, whether the family's small or big. Let's
hmm
say growing up, you had a cousin or maybe that one uncle or something
Mm.
that violated you in some way. It
hmm
doesn't have to be the huge violations, but anything, right?
Yeah.
Verbally or just didn't consider your feelings. How do you manage being around those people this year?
Child, I just want to say, just because it's Thanksgiving don't mean you got to be thankful for them. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay? Like,
Yeah.
you don't got to be thankful for every single family
Body,
member.
right? Yeah.
Okay? There are some that could be left off the list, and that
Yeah.
is okay.
Absolutely.
And I think that, it's trying, right? Because you don't get to pick your family.
Right.
You kind of was thrown in there with this group of people, and they were like, these are the people that you should be loyal to.
Yes.
Because they are related to you and you guys have the same blood running through your bodies. But I
Right.
think it's okay to understand that you don't have to do anything you don't want to do.
Right.
If being around your family disrupts your peace and you can't function, or you are even having anxiety, panic attacks before the actual event, it's okay not to go. I want y'all to know, you do
Right.
not have to show up. If anything about that environment is not healthy for not only you, but your own family that you've created, and if it's not okay with you and your kids are okay, send them over there and you stay home. I
Yeah.
think that we got to start creating our own safe spaces.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? We
Absolutely.
have to stop allowing tradition
Mm,
to take
rule
hold.
our lives, right?
Come on.
Absolutely. And to piggyback on that, you can create your own version of the holiday.
Mhm.
It doesn't have to be that we're going to auntie's house or grandma's
So
house.
true.
And if you do go, maybe you spend a limited amount of time, you go back to your own house, but you can make it what you want it to be. For those who are able to travel on that day, that's an option.
Yeah.
If you're not able to travel, stay home, and you don't even have to cook the traditional dinner if that's something you don't want to do, because that's also very pricey, right?
It so is.
You
It
add
so
all that
is.
up,
And
that
it's
can
so
be expensive.
mundane.
Yeah, right. The
Girl, I get
turkey,
tired of
and
eating
the turkey,
and then want to run it back on Christmas.
Right.
What is, yeah.
Why do we do it? every
Why
year?
do we do no, Christine?
We gotta question ourselves at that point,
like,
honestly.
Why are we doing this over and over again? It's
Literally
starting
3
to get.
weeks later.
Oh my God, the same
same.
menu is
It
crazy.
makes no sense.
It for real.
We
I
have to
like to
think about
switch
it.
it up. I'm an advocate for switching it up. My mother doesn't like to switch it up. She we gonna do this for Thanksgiving, but she
Right.
let me have fun on Christmas.
On Christmas.
Yeah, on
You can do
Christmas.
the seafood on
Yes,
Christmas.
I've done seafood. I've done Italian.
Mhm.
I've done Mexican.
I love
Thai. I really just try to do something different because I can't stand eating the same thing. And then y'all eat the leftovers for 40 days and 40 nights. Okay, you're not tired of that? Okay, you should have been tired of that. You're
Throw
gonna
it
eat them
away.
leftovers until Christmas.
Give it 2.5, 3 days, guys.
That's
You gotta let it
don't
go.
tell them because you're messing with your digestive
Right.
system at that point. Okay,
Literally.
seriously, y'all,
Yes.
let it go. It's just.
Yes.
I hate to be this person, right? Because y'all gonna look at my food page and be like, this girl is so unhealthy, right? So, yes, I'm a hypocrite.
No.
But stop eating like that. It is not healthy, y'all.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Mhm.
The amount of food we are piling. Not
Out of-
even.
But it's out of obligation. You feel like you have to do it. And we're here to tell you don't
You
have
don't
to
have
do it
to.
that way.
You don't
have
to.
to overdo it.
Exactly.
You do not.
Exactly.
So what we want you to take away from this is you can make the holiday be what you want it to be. Work in progress. So maybe start off small. Like I said, maybe limit the time at the house you're going to and go back to your house.
Yes.
Or just don't do it at all.
Yeah.
And cook tacos.
And just,
Or
because
go-
I love a little birria taco with the
Yeah.
little katsu man. You dip it like that.
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I agree with you 100%. Figure out what the holiday means to you, identify it, and then do that because that's what's going to bring you the most peace. Don't be so caught up in social media because sometimes I think people look at social media and see people with their family
Yeah,
or
don't they make it look so pretty
they
and
make it look,
perfect?
and they probably been arguing all day.
Right. They come together for those 3 pictures though.
Thank you.
Right,
Everybody
yeah.
pull it together for you know what I mean? But just know everything you see on social media is not always real. It's a moment, it's a glimpse into the bigger picture that you don't get to see.
Exactly. I also want to add that Thanksgiving's usually a time where people slow down, right? Businesses aren't open.
Mhm.
So I think it's also a good time to maybe reflect and just if you can, just be quiet with your family,
Mhm.
read something you haven't read before,
Yeah.
or just take some time for yourself, for your family to just slow down, take advantage of the slowdown that everyone, is in around this time of year. So
true.
yeah, absolutely.
So the next thing is how to cope with being around family who did you wrong during the holiday season.
Yeah. So I talked to one of my therapist friends about this.
Mhm.
What would she do in this case? Let's say you're going to the house. You've made the decision that you're going. You're still kind of under the obligation of being around the family. She suggested maybe writing letters prior to those family members so you don't embarrass them right at the table and just color purple it at the table.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, Sophia home now.
Right, exactly. So we avoid that moment. Maybe write some letters to those that have violated or offended you in the past. That way they'll be aware on Thanksgiving Day. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Scary. That's scary because like
what about it is scary?
Because writing the letter and then having to see you
across the table,
right, exactly.
That might turn Big up up a little bit more, right?
Because everybody's not level-headed.
Right.
You can't just say stuff to people and they not have an initial reaction to what you said. You feel me? So it's like sliding that letter. You seen Best Man? How he wrote that book? And Lance went in that bathroom and read it and like came out and almost threw him over the like balcony. You just don't know the type
That's
of
a gamble, guys.
It's such a gamble. Like if you do it, don't go to Thanksgiving.
The point is to go. Okay. I think feel it out, right?
Feel it, test the water.
If it's grandma, it'll probably be fine. Uncle, we'll see. That was one suggestion of how to manage it, monitor it. Maybe also keeping interactions with those people
limited.
Brief.
Yes.
Right?
That's my suggestion.
Yeah.
Keeping it brief with those individuals. You don't have to have full-on conversations with them. You don't got to sit beside them. You don't got to share nothing with them. It can literally be a hey and keep it pushing. Moving. Like, yeah. Because when you start to expose yourself to environments that's not healthy for you, you start to stew. You're going to start stewing. If that person start engaging with you and sitting by you, you don't mess up your energy like that. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. It's like keep your distance. Talk to your other family members that you do actually like. And
because that's a good point. Because you have to think about also, like, am I going to let this one person prevent me from being around the people I do like that I may not see that often?
True.
Right? So just balancing that out.
That is so true. That's a really good question to raise. That puts you in such a tough space because it's like you still love your other family members who haven't done anything to you and they want to see you because they too probably are traveling in town or you don't get to see them as frequently. So it's like, do you allow that person to stop you from having the moment with everybody?
Yeah, and I think it really does depend. I can speak personally. I don't. Those that I want to have brief interactions with, I do, and I enjoy the people that I do want to be around. Another thing is people also change, right?
Yeah.
So the same person that maybe did something to you 10, 15, or maybe even a year ago, people change. Redemption is a real thing, right? So
I'm working on myself, Kristen.
It's forgiveness a thing, people evolve. That's another consideration to make, right?
Teach me your ways.
It takes time.
Teach me your ways. Time.
Yeah, trust me, I've had to reconcile with quite a few family members and never really confronting about it, but just going within myself and just understanding that you have issues.
Yes.
You've had these. They're not identified. I can see them. But you literally are just doing your best to get by, right?
True. That's true.
You didn't have me in mind when you did that, but it happened. You said it or whatever. And I've just learned to deal with it within me and how I'm going to approach it, right?
Wow.
Know that has nothing to do with me.
Absolutely
that's all
not.
You.
And I think that's, you know what, Christine, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes we go into trying to figure out where did we go wrong.
Yeah.
Like this happened to me, this situation makes me uncomfortable. Well, what am I doing wrong? But realizing that it's not on you.
At all.
Like that person has problems. That person has issues. You know what I mean? Like you didn't do anything. Something's wrong with them.
Right.
And then once you realize you're talking to the mentally ill,
that's it.
You can kind of maneuver.
Let me put them in that crazy. I'm kidding. Therapists don't say crazy.
Right? No. Therapists don't think that. That's me. I started that because they had nothing to do. Seriously. Like once you realize that it's not all there, you can kind of maneuver the way you need to. So I think that's valid.
That is it. Mm-hmm. So question for you. Why do you think communities and families keep secrets, right? When traumatic events happen, some larger than others, um, why don't we talk about it? Why not embarrass the uncle or the cousin or
And that's so
the
funny
aunts?
because that's the answer. Embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we have, can I say black people? Black people. No,
Yeah.
I'm playing.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. African American people have been conditioned to be so secretive. And I hate to be this person, but I think it goes back to slavery.
Yes.
It goes all the way back to slavery where horrible things happened.
If you spoke or you looked
Thank
the
you.
wrong way.
Thank
or,
you.
Yeah.
Like you would lose a tongue, a finger,
Or a
a
child.
leg, or a child. Horrible things will happen to you when you would open your mouth and speak up. You were not allowed to talk. And I hate that. And so what happened was we became our own little community and we
Yes.
started to keep secrets between ourselves. You know what I mean? Even with like Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, she had to let them know at this time,
Right.
we're going to do this. Be
Right.
ready, but
And
that
don't say
couldn't
nothing
get
to
out.
nobody
Thank
about
you.
it, right?
You couldn't say nothing to nobody about it, and you had to be ready at that time. And I
Right.
think
Yeah.
that that's literally what was passed down from generation to generation.
Got
What
it.
happens in this house
Stays
stays
in
in
the
this
house.
house. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't you say nothing. Don't look at nothing. Don't ask for nothing. So
Yes.
you've been conditioned as a kid to be quiet. And then you become an adult and you teach your kids the same exact thing. And because traumatic experiences happen, and sometimes when things happen to people, we like to victim blame. I never understood that.
Right.
Women come forth, men come forth. They tell you what happened to them, and people start saying,
What did you do?
right.
Yeah.
Instead of asking if you're okay,
Right.
instead of just taking complete charge, calling the police or whatever needs to happen in that moment, it's like, what did you do for that to happen to you?
Right.
You
That's a
know,
shame. Yeah.
I
Very
never
sad.
understood that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I think just all of that as a whole is what causes people to be quiet and not say anything.
I totally agree with everything you said. I just add that another challenge for family members, it's difficult for people to imagine that their aunt or their brother who they love so much
So
or their
true.
cousin could even do things that would be offensive to other people, right? And two things can be true at the same time. You can love this person and they can be an ass
So
or whatever.
true.
You can
So
They can
true.
be, so sometimes it's difficult for people to even reconcile and they're in denial around it. They don't want to hear what happened because that's no, he
Ain't
girl,
no
go
way.
get you something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right. Don't get it. You're
Get
just
out of here.
hungry. You're not
Right.
yourself when you're
It
hungry.
didn't happen.
Right.
I think that's a
Right.
part of it too, just not wanting to be
Yeah.
in reality with those feelings.
So
'Cause what does
true.
that mean for the relationship? Like, can you be close with someone who has maybe done wrong in, sometimes, really inappropriate ways to other people? Can you love them the same?
No.
The
quick answer
people
is
don't want to confront
no.
it, right? Because they want to keep loving them.
Yeah,
But
that is
if you
so
have
crazy.
to deal with it, you're not gonna.
Yeah,
no,
I'm
that
telling
didn't
you.
happen.
And I just wish that more people could look at it in that way where it's just
Yeah.
a strong no.
Yeah,
If it's just
a
a no,
hard,
you know what I'm saying?
strong
Somebody said
no.
that somebody did something, bump your relationship and who you thought they were. No, I do not agree with your actions. I don't
Yeah.
agree with what you're doing.
Right.
I'm not going to stand beside that. I don't
Right.
care nothing about who I thought you was. A lot of people pretend to be who you think they are.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, people show up every day as a representative.
And that is the absolute right way to approach it. I think people are challenged with looking in the mirror and reconciling even with themselves. Because if I know this happened and I'm still supportive of you, I'm supporting this bad behavior. Right?
Yeah.
They don't want to check themselves
True.
either. So it goes deep
yeah.
for us, as a people as a whole, with the secrecy, not wanting to confront reality. And like you said, just it's almost a survival
tactic.
mechanism.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's like you also, what else I want to touch on too is being raised with a single mom.
Okay.
Love my mom.
Yeah.
Love her. She's amazing. She made
Yeah.
me exactly who I am today.
Yes.
But being raised by a single mom gives you a certain strength that I don't think you really need in society as a woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tell
like,
me about it. What does it look like?
So I was reading and it said, why don't we talk about traumatic events,
Yeah.
right? And I was trying to have a conversation with my mom around my aunt. There's something going on with my aunt. I was just trying to talk to her about it.
Right.
She did not want to talk about it. She
Yeah.
genuinely didn't want to talk about it. But I've seen her do this like throughout my entire life. When
Right.
serious things happen and I want to talk to her about it, she does not want to talk about those things. And
Yeah.
in return, I was raised to not talk about
Just
certain
avoid
things.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or also not to really tap in. Well, now that I'm older and
Mhm.
I work for nonprofits, and you know, when you working with a certain community, because I used to work with veterans, you have to tap into your emotions. You want to be
Yes.
present. You want to be available. But prior to that, I was raised to almost be emotionless.
Yeah.
Yeah, to not have
It's
any
safer
feelings.
that way,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I think that she was definitely trying to protect me. But do you know the effect that has on you when you're trying to be in a relationship and
Mm.
you seem almost like you don't care?
Yeah,
But you
you're
do care.
disconnected.
Thank you. You do care. I'm just disconnected with my emotions. I don't know how to have these real deep.
Conversations.
Yeah,
and-
you know what I mean? Like you get upset with me about something and immediately I'm on defense.
Right.
You know, like I don't know how to just take it in love and say, "Oh, this person just loves me." Like they're just telling me what I need to
Mhm.
know to be a better person. You
Right,
know?
right.
I'm looking at it as this is an attack
Yeah.
on my person, on my personality. You know,
Right.
like who I am. And that's you it just was crazy how I didn't learn that until I became an adult because I was literally raised to protect everything around
Yeah.
me.
Survive.
Survival.
Protect.
Like
Yeah.
straight up survival.
Absolutely. And I think that's the story of a lot of people.
Hmm.
I'm going to say, percentage wise, probably most of us are raised by really strong women
Yes.
who've had to be strong in order to manage and maintain life, to
Mhm.
make sure you're fed. People are respecting you and treating you well,
Yes.
not violating you. They will know that you're not the one that they can
1,000%.
do that with, right?
1,000%.
But there are consequences to being raised in survival mode.
Mode.
But you have awareness around it now,
Mhm.
right? And so it's something that you can work through. And in your relationships, you'll know when you feel that, you'll
Yes.
know where it's coming from and what it is. Believe it or not, a lot of people don't get there.
Really?
They stay with that.
Yo, whoa, gee, I'm so
Right?
happy.
They don't be knowing.
Yeah, no, girl,
They
I
have
can't
no self-awareness.
Girl,
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah, so
imagine
kudos
being
to
in
you.
defense
Yeah.
mode like that all the time.
Yeah.
Like feeling always attacked, it is a
Mhm.
horrible place. You don't even realize how much more damage you're doing to yourself by
Yeah.
being like that all the time.
And not even just like with relationships, but internally.
Mhm.
Holding all of that in
Mhm.
and being under that type of stress is
Mhm.
bad for your health.
Mhm.
Not being able to be fully expressed
Mm-hmm.
is not good for you.
So true.
Yeah.
So true.
So let it out, y'all.
Yeah.
In an appropriate way. We talked about healthy communication
Yes.
in one of these things.
We
So
did.
in an appropriate way, don't lash out. Just,
Right.
talk it out.
Yeah,
Talk it out.
and self-awareness is literally what you said, being self-aware. Like, can I bring her up?
yeah.
Angel Reese.
Of course.
I want to
yeah.
bring up something that
I thought you were
Christine.
talking about my friend that I'm thinking about. I'm like, did I tell you that?
Oh,
Don't bring her
no,
up.
no, 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 no.
I'm kidding.
I'm
No.
done.
'Cause
No.
I'm thinking about lacking self-awareness.
No.
And there's like
Oh, no, I would
list of
never.
people
I would never. No,
Go ahead, go
Angel
ahead.
Reese. This
Yeah.
goes back to what you just told me, like offline about her
Yeah.
not being self-aware, but also trying to adjust to the industry. But I want to specifically talk about the question that was asked, which is,
Mhm.
what are some things that she can improve on in a relationship? And her answer was nothing. Right? To me, that shows somebody who lacks self-awareness
literally.
completely, because
Yeah.
to think that you are perfect and you have nothing you can work on
Right.
at all says a lot about who you are. And now I think that just
Absolutely.
leaves doors open for people to nitpick and figure out what's really wrong with you.
What's wrong?
Like
with you?
now I gotta get to the
There's a
bikini
plenty,
bottom of it, okay?
Right, but not
So-
the bikini bottom, which is what. No, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, totally agreed. And to that point, that could also make it challenging because I think people know people who lack self-awareness. So if we are confronting people, family members about things that they've done, will they even get it? You don't. 'Cause
Mhm.
can you really see? Are you going to be receptive to my letter that I might write?
Are you?
Most likely no.
Most
'Cause
likely
it
not.
takes that. So that's why people have to take their own
Yeah.
actions
Yeah.
to protect themselves.
It
Self-awareness
takes-
is huge. How
it's
do you,
so
how do you be
huge.
friends with people? I know we did the relationship thing, but I'm going to talk to you offline about that
I'm
too,
gonna tell
'cause-
you the truth. This is so funny, y'all. It's so funny that you even asked me this, right?
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say it exactly how I told one of my good friends, right?
Yeah.
I met a girl at a wedding, right? And we ended up being cool. We both was there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we were both invited like a +1 with somebody who
Right.
we were dating at the time, right?
Mhm.
Ended up hanging with the girl and she seemed cool. She was so nice, girl. If you watching this, maybe you need to know. I'm, because if it ended up on our timeline, I think it was meant for you. Okay,
Yeah.
So ended up hitting it off, right?
Right.
And we ended up hanging out and this, that, and the third, and she started talking to me about this boyfriend that she had, and the boyfriend was a horrible boyfriend. She was so sweet though, literally the sweetest girl ever. Cheating on her. She couldn't call him. He had to call her. He always was working, and if he wasn't always working, then he was at the gym and he didn't have access to his phone. And she even snuck up on him one time and seen him in the house when she had been calling him and him sending her right the voicemail. She ended up ringing the doorbell. She seen his car outside. He lives with a cousin, so the cousin came downstairs and opened the door for her. She walks in. He's in there with another girl.
Of course.
They're drinking. They're in each other's face. This don't seem like no homegirl. And of course, they get into a big argument, right? She tells me all about it. Whatever. So she's like, I left him. Woo, 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 right? The next time I talked to her, she was talking to him again, right? And she was basically saying how he said that was really his friend and that she overreacted and it wasn't that serious. And mind you, he had done this multiple times. Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Right? She had gotten pregnant. He forced her to have an abortion. Like, just a lot of horrible things that he had done to her. And she was kind of just taking it on the chin. And I literally told one of my good friends, I can be with somebody who chooses to be dumb. I can't be with somebody, be friends with somebody who is actually dumb. Literally dumb. Like, I can't. I make choices to be dumb. I know when I'm being stupid. I know when somebody pulling the wool over my eyes. I know when I'm staying. I genuinely, it was so hard for me to be friends with her because she really was that oblivious to this type of behavior. She truly believed everything that he said, even though it was right in front of her face.
Now, do you really think she believed it?
Yeah.
Sometimes people are willfully dumb, right?
It felt like she genuinely.
Is there an intellectual deficit?
Did she have?
Yeah. Because some things you can't not believe unless you want to not believe it.
True.
And I don't want to bring up politics or whatever, but you can see that there's some people, even though it's right in front of them, no, that's not. I know that's what it says, but it doesn't say that because that's what works for them.
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. I think I could not even surround myself around
with someone like that.
Yeah, because I have conversations with my actual friends, and we talk about how dumb we was. We talked about the stuff that we allowed. We talked about, but we're aware that that's what we allow and that's what happened.
Right.
But we've grown from the situation. It was hard to even have those type of conversations with her. And it was hard to be her friend. Like, I just had to cut her off.
Ooh.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. It makes me think of one of my other friends whose friend, her husband is definitely cheating on her, has a girlfriend, got her an apartment, got her a car. And she's not leaving. This is the conversation they have. Like, stop being upset about it. Yeah. Just be real. You know, you live in this nice home. You're not working. And you don't want to say you're okay with it. But your actions are showing us
that you're okay with it.
So let's not talk about that anymore. Because you're taking me on the roller coaster. So could it be that you just... relationships off the table? Let's not talk about that. But if you like going out to dinner and hanging out, let's do that. But guess what? When we do that, that's all you want to talk about. Right. That's the thing.
That's because you have consumed yourself with this person. You've even taken on their personality. No. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all you want to, you lost yourself in this man that, like, I can't even talk to you about nothing else because that's literally all you want to talk about. And I cannot do that with you.
I get it. If they can't respect the boundary of this is off the table, because I'm not going on the roller coaster with you.
And I'm just a real person, right? And what I mean by that is I like to have real conversations.
Yes.
I like to talk about real things, right? And so if you want to talk my head off about something like that, I want to be able to give you my authentic answer to feedback. That. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to sugarcoat. And I'll be nice about it. I'm not mean. But I want to be able to tell you the truth. And what's good in having friends if you can't be real with them?
So true.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, I think that was the issue is like, I want to be your friend. friend, but I can't really be myself in this friendship.
And I commend you for cutting that off then. That's a
Mm.
really mature thing to do that a lot of people just don't have the guts to do.
Yeah.
Because I think they have a lack mindset when it comes to friendships or whatever. So that's really just, I think, the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we're discussing. You know, it's okay to cut people back, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all good.
Yeah.
The
Chrissy said, it's all
world gonna
good.
keep turning, right? Yeah.
So what are some tools for immediate healthy relief?
Good question. So we mentioned some earlier, and I wanted to circle back to the season. I mentioned vitamin D. I think
Yes.
around this time we're lacking vitamin D.
Aren't
Especially,
Black women the most deficient in
yeah,
vitamin D?
Yeah, exactly. 'Cause
Nice.
we have the melanin.
Mhm.
The sun doesn't get to us as easy as some other groups of people. So
Mhm.
it's important that we take vitamin D as a supplement. But also, while the sun is out, try your best to spend some time in the sunshine. Hard to do because I know people are busy. They've got kids, jobs, dogs, cats, life,
Yeah.
especially in the metropolitan area that we live in. It's hectic. But even if it's for 5 minutes a day, like if you can go during your lunch break to just go outside and get some sun rays,
Yeah.
it would make a huge difference. with
And
your
you're like,
mood.
what does that do? Does it like give you energy? Like, what's the benefits?
It does. It's a
Mhm.
pick me up.
Okay.
Literally, it does give you energy, will boost your mood. Just
Mm.
getting that sunlight and that vitamin D. You'll
Okay.
feel better. And if you can go for a walk, do that.
Mhm.
I want to name things that are like realistic for everyday working, busy
People.
moms and
Yeah.
dads, you know. But if you can walk, you know, that would be really great while the sun is up. Just going out for a brisk, you know, walk would be amazing.
I would say for me, I like journaling.
Yeah.
I am a writer. That's
What
just
type
my
of journaling?
thing.
Is it like, okay, today I had turkey for sandwich or for lunch, or what do you? Or
So it can go in that direction, but it
Mhm.
usually doesn't. My journaling looks more like a prayer.
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. Like my journaling is literally me talking to God in word form. So maybe
I love it.
manifestation kind of thing. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But if I'm having a bad day, I literally talk to God. Well, write it down about what my day was like and the day that I imagine to have tomorrow.
right.
You know
I
what I'm
love
saying?
that.
Yeah, like I just tomorrow this is what I would prefer to
like
happen
that.
in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like really just go on this fairy tale like of what I want my life to
Beautiful.
be tomorrow, and then I also kind of go into like what I want for myself like moving
That's
forward.
fabulous.
Yeah, so I think it's maybe more of a manifestation
I love
but
it.
prayer kind of thing, because I always
Mhm.
end it with dear God and then at the end amen. But that's how I journal. I don't really
I
go
love
into like
that.
what I ate
Yeah.
and like a Moesha journal. Today
Right.
Hakeem said,
Dear
hey,
journal,
like
right.
girl.
Yeah, I love it. It's funny you say that. On my desk is a 5-minute manifestation daily journal where at the
Mm.
beginning of each day, you just take 5 minutes with your intentions for the day.
Mhm.
What do I want to get accomplished today? What do I want to leave behind? Or
Yeah.
what do I want to put my focus on? So
I
I
love
love
that.
that.
I
That's
love that.
amazing.
I think that that's fair. If you and yours is like quick. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Mine is very drawn out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a lot because when I'm
Good.
talking to God, I like to be extremely intimate.
Love
Like,
that.
you know what I mean? But yours is really quick. And if you
Yeah.
guys want to do that, you could just jot down, your intentions for the day, which can be like 3 bullet points or just one. I just want to
Literally,
have a good
one.
day today.
That's it.
Like,
Right. That's
You know
all.
what I mean?
Right?
Like, I just want to have a good day today. I want to be
Yeah.
in a good state of mind. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Something quick
I
could
love
also
that.
be helpful.
And doing that will make a difference. It's setting the tone for the day.
Mhm.
And of course, every day is not going to be a good day, but it probably will be less bad if you can just start it off with a good positive thought.
So
right?
true.
Yeah. So we have journaling as one. We've got getting vitamin D, going outside, taking the supplement also would be really good. Of course, exercise is always
A
a
go.
really good
Yeah.
way, but you have to push yourself. So sometimes that could be difficult given the weather,
So
right? It's
true.
getting dark early.
Yes.
So even for me, it's harder to get out at 6. It's pitch black. So
oh, you
yeah.
know what else? I think actually getting dressed.
getting up and getting dressed.
Like for real,
for
for
the
real.
gym or just
Just
for
for
the
the
day?
day.
Okay.
I think just
Yeah,
actually getting
you're
up
right.
and being intentional about what you put on. And for some, this may sound so superficial, but I
Mhm.
realize when I actually like what I have on, or I actually like put energy into my like appearance,
Yes.
and I care or I feel good in what I have on,
You feel better.
I do. And I walk with so much more confidence.
Yes, indeed.
Because I like my outfit. I'm not really looking for
Exactly.
compliments or anything.
So
I think
you
it's
feel good about
yeah,
it.
I just feel really good about myself today.
Fabulous point.
Yeah.
And even the fact that you said get up, that is a struggle for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Just get up.
Yeah.
Right? Get up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if it's just from like maybe to just get out the bed and go sit on the couch maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you just going through it and you're not feeling yourself, but getting out of that room. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Sometimes
Right.
just getting out of that room, go
Yes.
sit on the couch, or if you have a deck or a patio or something, just like sit out there. Like,
outside.
we're not asking you to do a whole lot, because I know around this time having seasonal depression and going through things, you don't feel like moving. You don't
Right.
feel like it. But just those little small things you don't even realize can make a difference. And also, I noticed that when I'm feeling down or I'm feeling sad, it's usually because my house is a mess. My house will tell me that I'm not okay.
Environmental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
That is the thing for
Mhm.
me,
Mhm.
right? Ooh, that's
Yeah.
a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my house being disarray, or like once I realize like I've stopped caring, I'm like,
Right.
oh, I'm not okay.
It translates, doesn't it? It
Exactly.
translates.
Yeah, I start feeling down. I feel cluttered. I feel
Yeah.
overwhelmed. I don't feel like myself. So I realize, like, even if it's just getting small areas together in my house, I might can't do the whole thing,
Right.
but even if it's just getting maybe the living room together or the bathroom or whatever, and just start cleaning up, I literally start to feel like
You
weight is
do.
lifting
It
off of me.
increases your mood,
Mhm.
right? Because, like you said, a cluttered mind, cluttered house.
Mhm.
It all translates.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a really great one.
Yeah.
Your environmental wellness.
Yes.
And for people who are having difficulty even getting up, I'm glad you're watching.
Yes.
But just try to tap into things like this podcast. Look at Lanae's page. Some things that will just pick you up, right? And give you a little giggle.
Yeah, make
a
you laugh. Yes. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to help. Okay. You can catch me on social. Let me give you my social media
Yes.
handle. Okay. It's Lanae_Monet. Okay.
Yes. And go. She is hilarious.
Oh, thank
Look
you.
at the food reviews. Those things make people feel good because they
Yeah.
can check out of their reality
Mhm.
and enjoy something, right?
Yeah,
And you don't have
yeah.
to go far. It's on
Yeah.
your phone.
And
So,
laughter is,
yeah.
laughter is like the
Highly
key.
recommended.
Yes.
It's huge, right?
Yes.
Everything doesn't have to be so serious, so heavy
Mhm.
for us. So definitely utilize your resources, guys. All right, at the tip of your fingers, and try to build a community. Like tap into a couple people who I hope that at least people know one good bright spot of a person in their life
That would
they
be
can
nice.
maybe
Yeah.
have as an accountability partner.
Yeah.
On some level. Easier said than done. Again, I realize some people's environment is just not very
it's
positive,
not that.
right?
It's, yeah.
Church. There are community things that you can reach out to.
So true.
Community centers, churches, different social clubs. But again, it takes some get up and go to even get there. So follow some of the previous steps before you even go there. Do the bedside church maybe.
Yeah. Baptist bedside. I do that
Exactly.
sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that people can do
Yeah.
to help make themselves feel better.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So are we doing environmental wellness? What's
Social
up?
and environmental, right? Social
Ah.
because you might got to be around that uncle this year or that
Yeah.
auntie. Ooh.
I know. We both like, you
I'm
don't
thinking
have
about
to
one
though.
year.
Like,
Oh
I
my
cannot stress it.
God. You don't have to, no. But you
don't.
might, like some people still haven't gotten to where you are.
Yeah.
With you don't have to do
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
You rule your own life because you have to deal with your decisions, right? That feeling of regret's going to go home with you.
Mhm.
And they've moved on.
Yeah.
So people, you really do have to make the best choices for your own individual life and your own family.
So true.
And if you're not there, try to use some of the things that we've talked about.
Absolutely.
Right? Keeping your
Distance.
distance,
Mhm.
keeping it short,
Yep.
enjoying the people you want to enjoy, right? Did we give any tips around cooking and buying stuff? I mean, I don't know if you have anything around that. Feeling like
That people be taking shortcuts? Because this not the
No,
time.
not
Is that what
that.
you talking about?
No.
Because using light mayo, when you need to get that Dukes, and I don't care how much it costs, but you get the cheese, you got the shred. Don't get the cheese that's already shredded. What is
Okay,
wrong
but
with
you want
y'all?
people on the block.
You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? You need to be on the block. Where the block at?
Right. Okay. So yes, and so what we're gonna do is add some resources so people can get those cheeses and they can get some turkeys, right? For those of us that maybe a little bit challenged with feeling the pressures of the holidays, we're gonna have some resources in the comments or somewhere where you can go pick up a turkey.
Yes.
Hopefully they have Duke's mayonnaise.
Yeah. If they don't, you still go buy it. Okay,
Right,
you hear me?
yeah.
All right, this ain't the time. Like I said,
And buy it, y'all.
Okay,
Don't go take it. Buy it. But don't feel pressure to take anything.
right, exactly. But still, once
The day's
again,
gonna come and go.
you don't have
You
to.
don't
You
have
can
to.
get this turkey and you can cook it for your family that you created. You
Right.
do not have to take it anywhere. It can stay in your house. Honestly, it could just be for you. You want to sit in the bed and eat turkey?
Right.
Okay, you
For how
do
long?
that.
How long can we do it? It's huge. Yeah, it's too
Oh, I'm
much.
about to say, don't you eat that turkey for 40 days and
No,
40
no,
nights.
no. No. My mom, she does make turkey soup out of it.
Oh, okay.
And then I think they may freeze that. Who knows?
Yeah.
But you know,
That
the
sounds like
older
my mother
people.
freezing it, child. So you can have
You
it for
ever
Christmas.
go back to it? I don't know. Right. The same thing again.
Stressful.
It is. So social and environmental.
Mhm.
For social, what are you thinking for social that you'll do? While I think about it.
That's why I'm not.
Social wellness. Because I'm still keeping my distance. for
Yeah,
those-
that's what I told them not to be
I'm
social.
not
That was
social,
right.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's funny. Mm.
We gotta work on our socialization. Skills,
Yeah,
is
we
what
do.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, we do. Because we're like, don't talk to anyone. I mean, you can call in. FaceTime the family. You
Yeah.
know? Maybe that.
Mhm.
Maybe you don't show up, but you can FaceTime everybody
That's a
to say,
good one.
hey, y'all, how's that? Yeah, what's up? You know?
Give a good wave.
Exactly. You know,
Mhm.
that's an option.
Yeah, I love that.
Mhm.
That's actually really good, right? We
Mhm.
forgot about telecommunications.
Yeah, because
these
we had
days.
we had Zoom in.
FaceTime.
Okay,
Hey, y'all.
put me on the Zoom.
Exactly. I love that. Environmental, I think we mentioned maybe just starting with one corner of your house or
Mm.
one bathroom, clean it up.
Yes.
Personally, for me, with my environmental, I am working through decluttering.
Oh my God, I
Just
need to do that.
throwing away things and
Girl.
stuff that we haven't worn or used,
Yes.
right?
I didn't realize I was a hoarder.
Yeah, well, no.
I'm a hoarder. Like,
You
I've been looking at it. I'm
that-
like, I don't want
you don't
none
need
of
that
this.
stuff, right?
I don't want any of it.
Containers in the kitchen that don't have lids to them.
Come on,
Let's
because
let
I got a
let them
few.
go. Yeah.
Oh my
That's my goal
God.
for this weekend.
Because I just
guys.
feel like you talking about me. Like, why I'm feeling attacked.
No,
Okay? I thought we was doing this
we're
together.
all attacked, literally. How many of us have those random? You don't need them,
Yeah.
right?
And the
Throw 'em away.
condiments drawer,
Yeah,
you can throw that. You can throw the condiments
Ooh,
away.
that's
You
a
don't
big
need.
one.
You don't
Yeah.
need that drawer. I
You
know you
don't
got
need
it.
it, right? The soy sauce,
Right. The
the Chick-fil-A
mayo.
sauce.
The hot sauce. Like,
Let it go.
You don't need that.
No. So that's my goal.
Okay.
My personal goal.
I love that. And I'm
Yeah.
going to do the same.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same.
Thank you.
Yes. You guys, we have come to the end, although we've come. It's like, nah, you guys, we have come to the end of
Yes.
our episode 4 Evolution Podcast.
Elevation.
Because who's
What
evolution?
was it the first
We didn't know. Why was that the first episode? And I was on a
it
ball,
was
so I was
something
like,
about slavery the first
evolution.
time.
Like,
No. Was it evolution?
it was.
Okay.
Elevation. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Maybe
it's only been 4
evolution's coming.
episodes.
It is an evolution, though.
That is
right?
true.
This is episode
Look how
4.
she's trying to make me feel. But
So,
she's really
yeah,
a therapist.
it's-
You better get into it. You better
You're
call up here to
actually
Metalworks
right.
and get in contact, okay?
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, thank
I
you
enjoyed
so
it,
much for
Renee.
tuning in. It is always a
Always a
pleasure.
pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
And tune in next time. Okay. Peace.
Take care.